Welcome to another edition of Westpark Wednesdays. My name is Fred Said. So I'm going to go on a limb here, and I'm actually going to make a fourth quarter prediction for 2013. But let me disclose something. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not an economist. I'm not a guru of any sort where I can dream exactly of what's going to happen. I'm not a psychic. But what I can tell you is this. I've been doing this business for over a decade. I've done hundreds of transactions. So I can give you an idea of what my personal opinion is. So take it for what it's worth. Right now in Westpark and in Irvine, just over the past 90 to 120 days, we've seen inventory of homes increase by over 75% from what it was 6 months ago. Part, in fact, by the rates going up and inventory coming on the market. But don't let that scare you. Just because inventory is almost doubled in many ways, there is still transactions taking place. There are still buyers that want to buy properties and close transactions. The difference is that buyers now have more options, and sometimes sellers have to reduce prices to get things to go through. So we're more in a traditional market. Well, some properties are based off a buyer's market, some are based off a seller's market. It's case by case. But what matters is the following with what I'm about to say. This market will continue for the short term. But the big shift that we're going to have in this market that's going to happen whether it's December of this year or whether it comes springtime or summer of next year, the government and the Federal Reserve have warned us time and time again that they are going to pull out of the housing market because they believe that the housing market can self-sustain itself. So they're going to cut back on buying bonds and backing up on these mortgages. So what does that mean for you and me? What that means is the following. As soon as they announce that they're backing out of the housing market so it can self-sustain itself, interest rates are immediately going to go up. To what extent, I don't know. At the same time, inventory is going to increase. So we're going to have that little 30 to 90-day phase of a transition that's going to take place and a shift that we're going to have to watch out for. So if you're serious about buying a home, I suggest you do it in the next 30 to 60 days because the rates are pretty darn good with where they're at in the fours, and they're probably not going to get lower than this, and prices are pretty good as well. So that's for buyers. And for sellers, it's really case by case. You have to have a good, compelling reason to sell your home, whether you want to take the equity out and buy something else, or you're forced to relocate for whatever reason, then you might want to contemplate and seriously think about selling pretty soon. So, with that said, any questions whatsoever that I can analyze for you and your personal situation with you and your family, contact me directly 7 days a week at 949-274-3733. And for everything Westpark related, go to www.livingwestpark.com and tune in next week for another amazing edition of Westpark Wednesdays. Why? Because that's what Fred said.